75 years. That's how much time you get if you're lucky. 75 years, 75 winters, 75 springtimes, 75 summers, and 75 autumns. When you look at it like that, it's not a lot of time, don't waste them. Get your head out of the rat race and forget about the superficial things that preoccupy your existence and get back to what's important now. Right now, this very second.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning. But winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
Average people use their time to whine and complain. Average people say it's their boss' fault, it's their mother's fault, it's their average people. I used to be average. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you. But you can go to the library and get yourself.
Do you know what I always tell people? Don't chase money, chase excellence. Money follows excellence. He created excellence, which is why he got money. Everybody focused on money, they're never gonna get there.
You can be me, which, am I happy? I don't know. Never really thought about it. Don't really care about it. Because all I really cared about was when I looked in that fucking mirror, I saw a piece of shit. Happiness wasn't on the mirror at 16, or when I was 300 pounds. It wasn't like, I'm looking for happiness. No, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and say, all right, motherfucker, you did it again today. You're a bad boy. Because that shit sucks.
I now see anything is possible and that you could train for anything. There's nothing you can't do. You can't be the best in the world at something, but you can be a lot better than you are at anything you want to put the time into learning, whatever it is. You could do anything.
As a man thinketh, so is he. So whatever you're thinking about, that's who you will become. Because thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits, habits lead to lifestyle. And that lifestyle is what dictates who you are, brother.
So every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that shit, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war. You put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world and I look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized because I know I'm gonna get hit in the fucking mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the fucking mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run.
As long as you believe in something, in a dream, as long as you have a dream and believe in yourself, I think the success is just a matter of time.
Truly successful people are absolutely honest and objective with themselves and their worlds. They practice the highest of integrity. There's nothing that so undermines your confidence and so weakens your resolve than feeling inside that you're not doing or saying the right thing.
Right. So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
There's something magical about the self-confidence that you can build from healing and from developing a fit and athletic body and a fit and athletic mind and a strong and resilient emotion, right? Like your strong emotional capacity where shit doesn't just make you fall apart and you don't get triggered and you don't all of a sudden go into your trauma body, but you're like, I can handle anything. And that's a really good thing to become.
Well, I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself. And that's all great, but there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid that I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 hell weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta selection.
Undeniable stack of proof.
That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief and it's built on what you put into yourself.
With being average, are you not disgusted with being like everybody else? Being mediocre, being average, being mundane? Now, if you want to live an ordinary life, walk around, do your 9 to 5, watch some Netflix or some Hulu at night, just chill, then that's fine. But if you want to be an extraordinary individual and you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to be able to, here, look at the dude sleeping. Look at the dude sleeping. That's most of you motherfuckers, bro. Most of you fucking clowns are out here sleeping your life away. No ambition, no desire, no true willpower to become extraordinary. If you want to be extraordinary, first you have to be disgusted with your current situation. And once you're disgusted with your current situation, you must commit to changing. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you must be willing to do extraordinary things.
He's constantly thinking, he's constantly disciplined, never going off the path. Whatever is injured on him, he figures a way. It's a conqueror's mindset. And very few people, if any, can really understand what that is.
Consistency doesn't guarantee that you'll be successful, but not being consistent will guarantee that you won't reach success. Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. Confront the work. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition.
Concentrate single-mindedly on one thing at a time. Pick the most important thing that you have to do and concentrate single-mindedly on doing that and only that until it's done. The ability to concentrate single-mindedly on the most valuable use of your time and to stay with it without diversion or distraction until it's done gives you a tremendous sense of power and confidence and self-esteem. Working on low-level tasks is a real downer. You can work on them all day. At the end of the day, you feel tired and depressed and negative, and you have low self-esteem because in the back of your mind, you know you're not accomplishing anything. All success is preceded by single-minded concentration on a single task for a long period of time before it's accomplished. There are no successful people who have not developed the ability to concentrate without diversion or distraction on the one thing. Andrew Carnegie, who became the richest man in America, said that the ability to do this and learning this one secret, the ability to concentrate on the highest value task, was what was more responsible for his fortune than anything else.
If you know you need to make it, you will make it, but you need to commit to making it.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen. So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can practice for the unchosen suffering, is have chosen suffering. Do something that sucks every day.
The first question is, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Believe in yourself.
Second question, what is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
It can't be done.
You lie to yourself. You have to be yourself. Doesn't matter if the people like or not. You think I'm gonna change now? Our Christianity self is always, I'm gonna change now. Oh, you like me or you don't like me, it's part of the life. For me, it's not a problem.
Workout's done, you paid your fucking due. You're that much closer to becoming that person you always knew you could be. I mean, isn't it about time you do that? Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the fucking mold, guys. You get the fuck out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. That's psychotic behavior. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe. Switch it up if you want a different result, man. Why not try it, man? Shock the system. Start with an earthquake, man. What I mean by that is, yeah, get up at 4 in the fucking morning one day. Just one day. And go for a fucking run. Commit to one day. And see how you feel. As you're jogging it back in around 5 or something. As your neighbors are still asleep. Or as you're jogging it back in at 6 o'clock. And your neighbor's just getting up, grabbing the coffee, looking outside, wondering, what the day's gonna hold for them. Well, your day's already provided something for you. You see how that works? Mentally, you feel like, wow, man, that was fucking alive. And then you go about your day at work, and your coworkers like, who the fuck? What happened to old Greg, man? Who's this? That's right. The new motherfucker's here to stay. And get the fucking on my plan or get the fuck out of my way. That's how you run it, man. But you won't get to know what I'm talking about, man. You can't look at a picture of something of Hawaii and feel the cool breeze and the warm water. You gotta be there. You can't talk it all the time. You gotta walk it. Commit to one day. Try it. See how it feels getting up that fucking early when everyone else is asleep, or it's that cold when everybody else says, no, this is not comfortable, we shouldn't do this. You say, yes, motherfucker, I'm gonna introduce myself to it. And who that person is, we don't know. Who could it be? It's exciting, man, because the way you feel after that, as exhausted or as how unpleasant as the experience might be, the after effect on how prideful you feel, man, that's something you're either gonna love or not. And if you love it, dude, you're on your journey to something magical.
Dead serious. Fucking bet against me. Bet against me. Tell me it's not gonna happen. Tell me it's gonna fail. I love it. I love every minute of it.
People with big dreams that they're absolutely committed to are unstoppable human beings. It's people with little dreams and no hopes and no plans beyond tomorrow and next week. These are easy people to stop. But people that have big dreams to make wonderful lives for themselves, they're phenomenal.
No matter what anybody else says, you could hear the best speech, you could take the best program, you could go to the 12-hour seminar and jump around and say, hey, I'm a different person. It's always going to come down to the two things that it comes down to for everybody. One, you have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. And every time you push through one of these barriers, you're leaving all of your competition behind and you're moving forward without that. And most people can't do that. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to push through the hard times, to become someone who is literally incapable of quitting.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
And the more things I found comfortable, the more uncomfortable my mind was. Because that voice I was telling you about, it always was there. I was just trying to avoid that conscience. I wanted to be left alone from that conscience, and it wouldn't leave me alone.
I believe so much in myself, and I have a bulletproof mind. And when I go out there, I know what I'm able to do, and I do it good.
You can't get comfortable, bro. Once you get comfortable, you start losing yourself. You feel me? You start losing the hunger, you start losing the drive. Once you lose that, it's game over.
For me, I made a decision, and my decision was to be the best person I could. And I basically, a lot of mornings I wake up and say, fuck your feelings. Think about that. But people go, man, you have such a strong will. It's something that you build. Like, I never forget, I was on a podcast one time, and this dude goes, you were blessed with a strong mind. Like, the hell are you talking about? I was blessed with a strong mind. That's something that you have to develop. You develop that over years, decades of suffering, and going back into the suffer.
Nothing is going to be worthwhile that doesn't come with an associated amount of discomfort. Therefore, when you start to feel friends around you and the people that you used to be able to speak a common language with start to push back and start to make the quips of, oh, not drinking tonight, yeah? Oh, you must be too cool for us now. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. That is the lead indicator, not even the lagging indicator. That is the lead indicator that you are doing the right thing.
I need a guarantee. How do I know you can deliver?
You don't, but I can. So, do you want to take a leap of faith or become an old man filled with regret, waiting to die alone?
He's constantly thinking, he's constantly disciplined, never going off the path. Whatever is injured on him, he figures a way.
You have to have the ability to go to the deep end no matter whether or not you'll ever go there. And some people are like, well, I'm never going to go to the deep end. But you should be able to.
100%. You have to be trained to do it. You have to be trained for it. For when that time comes, you're like, okay, I'm deep end qualified.
Yeah.
I am deep in fucking qualified. I got my fucking deep in certification. And so many people just want it the easy way. I'm sorry, man. It's not. So what they start to do is they build this narrative of it's okay. When the narrative should be, you need to fucking work harder. You need to fucking discipline your mind better. We need to help people more than just saying it's okay. It's okay that you're not fucking willing to fucking help yourself out. That's not okay. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. Even though it's your life, if that's acceptable, that's unacceptable. And there's a lot of people in this world, me included, that if I accepted that, I wouldn't be anywhere.
Be an unshakable optimist. This is wonderful. In other words, always look for the good in every situation. We know that a positive mental attitude is a foundation of a healthy, happy life. A positive mental attitude, an attitude of absolute confidence and determination that you can and be and do whatever you want, goes hand in hand. If you look for the good in other situations and other people, you always find it. You always have a tendency to find what you do look for. If you look for the valuable lesson in every setback, and every single day you're going to have setbacks and obstacles and difficulties and disappointment and so on. Just look for the valuable lesson. If you interpret things to yourself in a positive way, you're going to be positive. If you interpret them in a negative way, you're going to be negative. So superior people are consciously taking everything that happens to them and looking for a positive way to put a twist on it. There's a story about Ted Williams when he was the top baseball player in America, one of the highest paid, best batting averages and so on. At the end of a doubleheader, everyone had gone home. The park was empty, and the park maintenance man was out cleaning up, and way out there with an automatic ball machine there was a batter just slugging away at the balls. And he came out and he looked at him, he said, geez, he said, you're Ted Williams. He said, yes. He said, pleased to meet you. He said, what are you doing here? All the other ball players are back at the hotel and having parties and everything else. He said, well, I'm practicing. He said, but you're the best baseball player. You're the best hitter in all of America. He said, you don't need to be out here. And he said, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because he's always concentrated on getting better. And of course it pays off.
But when you're around people that truly give you give you some good, serve a good value to you in your life, you then look at those that don't, and you can then push away. I believe that is contagious. So if you have a bunch of laziness and a bunch of bullshit around you, naturally it's going to feed off. You're going to find yourself becoming what's in your environment.
We all live in this world where our brains are keeping us in this box. outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, which is on the other edge of that 40%, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box is comfortable. That's where all of our nice stuff, that's where the nice 4-lane highway's at. I know where the restrooms are at. I know where the gas stations are at. Outside that box, man, God gives you a shovel and says, man, start digging. That's not fun. But when you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown. And that's why I started realizing, man, like on the other end of this is some beautiful stuff. So I got outside my box and realized, man, 300 pounds, now look at me, I'm 185 pounds. And on the other side of the box was all this stuff. And I didn't know it was over there until I climbed the wall and saw it.
So what wall are you climbing now?
Man, right now, I've climbed a lot of walls. There's no more walls anymore. The reason why is because I know how to climb.
It doesn't matter whether I achieve all of my goals or I don't achieve all of the goals. In 3 generations, I'll be forgotten, and the only people who were naysaying against me will also be dead. And so then it's like, just do it for me.
This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book because I was all this shit and then a lot more of fucked up. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robbins's fucking bullshit, all this shit. You do all this shit. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no result, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend, and a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life. Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500 because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. You can't give them shit. I can give you ideas. But at the end of the day, when I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold because it was Indiana, November when it started. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks. And it's going to continue to suck. And then one day you'll get to a special part in your life that it might get a little bit better. But to lose the weight you had to lose, my friend, sorry, it's going to suck every fucking day. Because then when you're 300 pounds, you're going to go out to lose weight, you could probably get injured. So then you got to work on the injury, and then you get even more depressed. This is what I went through. And then you're hungry because now you're depressed. It's just a vicious cycle. And if you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're going to continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, motherfucker. This is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're going to do this today. No, this fucking really sucks. This is real, dude. This is real. And every day, I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. So this is what I would tell your boy. This is exactly what I tell him. Every day you wake up, you're going to probably be set back for the first 4 weeks before you lose significant weight because of the mind's going to be fucking with you the whole time. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed, and you have to create it. It has to be false, because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit, and that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that, just to get to work on yourself. That's the reality.
Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. I got to live with that.
You can do anything that you want to do. For example, as I've told you before, I lived in the back of an old car. I taught myself to read and write. So if you're young, don't give up. Don't say the world is just against me. That's not true. I taught myself to read and write. I've had 5 books published. I went to college, got a little bit of college. I've studied scripture for many, many years. I've raised 5 children. So a person can accomplish anything that they want.
Girlfriend breaks up with you. Okay, Then you go into work and you sulk because you're distracted, and then you don't do the same level of effort and you're not enthusiastic. And then all of a sudden your work suffers and you get put on a PIP or you get fired. And then now you're fired and you don't have a girlfriend, and then you start gaining weight and you stop going to the gym, and all of a sudden you're like, man, bad things happen in threes. It's like, no, bad things happen all the time, and they only become interrelated if you let it affect your behavior. Because if you started diets and you failed, and you start working out and you failed, if you just make it longer every time before you fail, you're still making progress and you're still doing something that everyone else isn't doing. And that is the biggest meta indicator that you possibly can, is it because everyone sucks. Like, so many people are mediocre. Like, half of the United States is in debt. They don't even have they're negative net worth. Just saying different than that, the bar isn't high.
Motivation is crap. Right now, a lot of you right now can be motivated as hell, go out of here and be like, yeah, I'm motivated. Like you said, you're right. Without being driven or obsessed, this motivation fades. And motivation is at the all-time high when your bills are paid, when your wife or husband is good, when everything is good, you're motivated. It's that person when all hell breaks loose and everything falls apart that says, I still gotta get it in. And how you get to that point in life, what I figured out, it's so noisy right now. This world is so noisy. We all walk around with these phones, computers. The world is so fast. We're not able to think. The most powerful weapon in the world, we walk around with it. It's our mind, it's our brain. You have to be able to go into a very dark place in your mind and figure who you are. Go back to what you want to do, what's your purpose. We can't figure our purpose out or why we're here or why we're even born or whatever, because it's so loud in our mind. We don't have any quiet time with ourselves to sit back and say, what do I really want? There's so many different dialogues in our head that we can't think. So my biggest thing is you have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you.